Hello and welcome to San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans.
By the fans.
I'm Josh Taylor, along with
Justin Smead.
Justine. Our phone lines do work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
so
you can call.
You are able to call. There is no service fee.
No, and it's not going to get a busy signal. You know, you're not going to be halted by jammed lines here.
Yes.
There's no circuit phone board over there going, man, we got 19 people waiting to talk to us. So
yes.
You call right in right now if you want.
Call in 619-387-3452. We want to hear from you.
Please.
So.
And that was a catchy thing we just made up on the fly.
We didn't practice that.
Just call in, please.
So before I jump into anything, I want to recognize all the men and women that unfortunately lost their lives due to a bunch of terrorists.
Careless acts.
11 years ago, very sad day that touches a lot of people. You know, one thing I learned from it, though, is that, you know, it really makes this country stronger. You know, when we're knocked down to our knees, we tend to get back up with a vengeance.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about this country.
Yeah, the United States always fights back.
It's almost like the Padres. They don't give up. They have a lot of fight. But no, seriously, to all the men and women out there,
thank you.
All the families that
or
lost
affected,
loved ones, you know, to all the men and women that risked life and limb to save these people, you know, thank you and God bless you all.
Yep. God bless you guys.
We're gonna dive right into it. You know, Padres playing right now.
Rolling.
Yeah. Talk about playing spoiler. 5-1 over the last week.
Man.
Taking 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. Took the one last night, just absolutely crushed St. Louis.
St. Louis.
You know, making up ground in the wild card. I mean, I don't want to.
No.
You know, the fat lady ain't singing. In my opinion,
we're still alive.
Still mathematically alive.
Still alive.
And I'm gonna be a diehard fan
through
and through.
Till the end.
Until I see that E for elimination next to the standings for the Padres. You know, as far as I can say, you know, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. So.
Well, yeah, they got to be, you know. But the cool thing about this whole stretch run, Josh, is these are playoff teams that they're beating.
Yes.
Wild card contenders,
right.
Division winners, leaders, I should say. And they're just playing solid baseball, and we've talked about this numerous shows, and we this is exactly what we wanted to happen going into the last of the month. Play better baseball and roll it into next season.
Absolutely, and not only that, there was a lot of people that criticized the Padres. Yeah, they're playing well right now, but we're going to get into August and September, and they're playing a lot of playoff, you know, competitive teams, and you know, their pitching's hurt, and I mean, we even talked about that. That was one thing we were concerned about. You know, getting into late August and September, is our pitching wearing out. But you know, we've got some healthy people back. You know, we got Cashner back, we got Bass back, and they've been playing some damn good baseball.
Yeah, and your word, plethora. They got the plethora of pitchers, and it's all coming together now. It's too late, I think, but getting these guys back in the rotation sets you up for next year and a good season. So it's just encouraging to see, and Padres are rolling right now.
Absolutely, and big in part to Chase Headley. I mean, the guy can. Is there anything you can say negative about this guy? I don't think so. I mean, other than maybe he strikes out a little bit, but at the same time, we kind of expected that. At least I did, because he said at the beginning of the season that he's trying to get some more of the power numbers, and you're going to have some, you know, big haymaker type swings to try to drive the ball out of the park, and you're going to swing and miss sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he's got a stellar eye. The guy hits for a decent average. He's hitting right around 280, 27 home runs, 102 RBIs.
Bombs, dude.
Plays great defense. O'Malley's. I'm going to keep saying this until you sign him. You need to sign this guy.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Well, you just ran off all those stats about Chase Headley and what he's doing and how unforeseeable I thought this was. I didn't think he could do anything like this. I thought solid numbers would be 80 RBI, 22 home runs, 25 home runs, somewhere in there. He does have a power in the pop, but lately it's just been crazy, like he's been juicing. I hope he's not, but
he's leading the National League in RBIs.
Right. That is nuts. Absolutely. Hey, Jason, do you think you'll get 3 home runs by the end of the season? That's what I want to ask you.
I'd like to hear that come from your mouth, Jason.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to. I think that you guys, I was so wrong when I said that he didn't have a chance of hitting 30.
We just wanted to hear it.
Yeah, I've been eating crow. You guys tweet me constantly every time that he does
right.
anything.
Well, he gets one happy. RBI. We're tweeting you.
I'm certainly not rooting against it, and
all
I can say is he hasn't done it yet, but I'm eating crow, man. You guys are right.
No, it's crazy, right? Like
I thought he was going to cool down.
I don't think and I don't think 35 bombs are out of the realm this season. The way he's on pace and the way he's crushing the baseball, and it sounds silly, it sounds dumb.
I know.
35 bombs. It's a little high, but 8 home runs by the end of the year. I cannot tell you that can't happen.
Yeah, I mean
he's on a tear right now,
and we keep waiting for him to cool off because let's get it straight. Even the best hitters, look at Albert Pujols, the way he started the season.
Oh man, he was
everybody's
horrendous.
Like calling for his throat.
Yeah, give me my money back.
$250 million, and the guy hasn't even hit a home run, and we're a month and a half into the season.
Right.
Chase Headley's gonna cool off. I mean,
eventually, yes.
If not, there's no doubt in my mind he hits 35 home runs.
I mean, let's see what happens, but that's definitely a goal he can obtain.
Absolutely. So I know this could be
far-fetched
a
little bit.
Yeah, but should Headley be considered in the NL MVP voting?
He should be talked about as an elite player. I don't know, like we've touched on, man, they don't really look at these things unless your team is one of those top teams. It's a stupid thing to say, one of those first-place teams, but he should be in the discussion for consideration and some praise. But I don't know. I don't think you can name him the NL MVP this year.
Did Milwaukee make the playoffs last year?
Did they?
I don't think they did.
Ryan Braun won, I know that, but I don't. Is that the first time in a while that a NL MVP didn't make the playoffs? I think.
Don't they have to vote for when you put in your votes? Don't you vote for like your top 10 choices or something like that? So I think he should definitely be.
Well, he should be in the consideration.
I think he should be in consideration for sure.
Not to win it, but
I don't know if he can win it because I don't. Is it just voted on by the players and the coaches?
I have no idea how that works.
No, it's the writers.
It's the writers and the beat writers and stuff.
So obviously, because like we talked about weeks ago, ESPN just absolutely bends the Padres over. There's probably not going to be enough voting there for Chase Headley, even if we were a playoff team.
No, it's fine. I'm glad you brought it up because it should be considered.
Right, it should be considered. Exactly. And as a Padre fan and a diehard one at
that, it's encouraging.
Both of us.
It's great to see.
Extremely exciting.
Right. I agree. And we haven't had a guy like that since Adrian, and you know where he's at now, wearing that Dodger blue.
Right.
Great.
So we're playing the Cardinals tonight.
Right.
We're only 8.5 out of the wild card.
It sounds silly to me. It sounds really retarded to me.
We win tonight.
When you say 8.5 games,
right?
Holy cow!
Well, and we're chasing the Cardinals.
I know,
for the second spot.
Right.
Okay. So we win tonight. We win tomorrow. We're 6.5 out. 6.5 with 3 weeks left is doable. Look at what the Cardinals. Look at what Colorado did.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Well, we've seen some monumental collapses in baseball, and that's what makes this playoff run so special down the stretch into October, because baseball gets that much more turned up a notch. And when these races are going on, I remember what it was last year. They had it was 4 teams. It came down to the last game of the season. I think the Red Sox got beat out by I want to say the Tampa Bay Rays.
Right.
And then I want to say I can't think of the other 2 teams, but anyway, exciting baseball down the stretch, and it came down to those final games. So every game is crucial.
Well, and what's nice about this year is they have that second wild card spot.
Right. Now, they're going to have that play-in game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have the one play-in game, and then that wild card team moves on
into the actual wild card round.
Right. So, just to get a chance, just to be able to play in that game would be phenomenal. After the way we started this season,
right,
to even think right now that we have a small glimmer of hope.
That's exactly what I'm
phenomenal.
saying. When you say 8.5 games, that befuddles me, man. I'm like, and then to say that if we sweep the Cardinals, we'll be 6.5 games back of the wild card. Holy freaking cow!
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's outstanding baseball in the second half, and you have to give credit. You have to give credit to Buddy Black and all the staff for keeping the team up. A lot of young players this year, and he's done such a great job.
And I'm glad you said Buddy Black, because they've been talking about him being, potentially manager of the year.
Right, yeah, and he should be considered for it, because I think he was nominated. He was the manager of the year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I can't remember the quite years, but this year with this second half, this has been outstanding. He's had nothing.
I know.
It's just farm players,
a plethora of injuries,
and injuries that have overtaken this team, and we've gotten a little bit back here and there, a little bit back here, and we're starting to piece it together.
Right.
Serious big shout out goes to Buddy Black this year, because
future looks good.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Kashner's back.
Yes.
And he pitched very well.
Fireball.
I mean, limited pitch count, but went 5 innings, only gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 5. The fastball isn't quite there yet.
No, he's going to get there.
He needs to build up his arm strength, but he really worked on his changeup. The changeup looks phenomenal,
right.
And he was really got hitters off balance.
Yeah, you know what's funny? That his fastball's so good, you tell me that his fastball's not quite there yet, but he's hitting 94 and 95 on the gun.
I know.
And he's not there yet, but you hit a 95. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get up there and
Good
throw.
luck.
Yeah, you're throwing heat.
Yeah, I would.
When you're saying he's not back,
circles.
you're saying he's not throwing 101.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's funny to me. But yeah, anybody would be just happy to have a 95-mile-an-hour heater after a long injury. So, but yeah, it's good to have him back in the rotation, because he's going to be such a big part next year and down this stretch too for this team.
Right. Last bit of Padre news: Jerry Coleman this Saturday.
The Colonel.
The Colonel is going to be presented by the Padres with his own statue.
Which he should be.
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
Between his tour of military service, which has a lot to do with it, because Padres are a big military town. Right. As a player, as an announcer for Major League Baseball, Yankees and Padres.
Right.
The guy has been a staple not only in Padres history, but Major League Baseball, and I'm very pleased that the Padres did something like this.
Yeah, you can't. And it's like Tony Gwynn as a statue. You cannot say really anything bad about Tony Gwynn. He's been a staple here in San Diego community. Jerry Coleman the same way. He deserves it. It still gives me chills when I listen to the local radio affiliates and they have him doing the 84, I think it's the 84 World Series. Wrapping the pennant around their shoulders, at night. He does the 98 one too, and man, I get goosebumps and just hearing his voice. It's kind of like the Hacksaw when he did the Super Bowl. It gives you chills because it was such a great moment in San Diego sports. Jerry Coleman, for me as an announcer, I'm going to remember him a lot more than as a player. I didn't get to see him play, obviously.
Right. No, I agree.
But as an announcer and just how he's been here as a staple, I couldn't be more happy. I can't tell you how much I love that soundbite when I hear him.
So
cool.
The O Doctor.
Yeah.
You can hang a star on that one.
Yes.
I mean, those forever will be embedded in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Coleman,
Padre history,
much deserved of this, and
it'll be great to see a statue out there. I don't
Absolutely.
know. Do you know where they're going to put it? Out in front or over by Tony? Or?
I've heard them rumor that they want to put it out front, right at the main gate, because he's
cool.
always seems to be the first person to welcome people into.
Yeah,
Padre land.
Petco Park. Yeah, definitely. I could see that. You probably don't want to put it over by Tony and get kind of cluttered over there with statues, pointing at each other or whatnot.
Right.
But but at the front of the entrance would be nice as you're walking in through the gates. That'd be kind of cool.
Absolutely. So. We're gonna bolt up.
We're gonna bolt up, all right.
Yeah.
We just knocked off the Raiders, baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a divisional victory on the road against the Raiders.
The Chokeland Faders.
Yes.
Chokeland Faders.
I love it.
No, dude. What a game. What an atmosphere. You could see the atmosphere when the game started, and it just gave me. I love the kickoff season, man. It gives me goosebumps every time. It's just you're going into battle. You've been working on it for months. You've been preseason. You're tired of the preseason. You're in the black hole. It's division. It's like get it done, man. Go in there and get a win. So.
And I said this last week. The black hole has been the Chargers' second home.
You're right.
They are 8.
The stats don't lie.
They've won the 13 out of the last 15 games in the black hole.
Might as well put a Charger flag right in the middle of the field there.
I'm saying it. Put a big lightning bolt right in the center of the field.
Might as well home field advantage. I guess that black hole doesn't
Raiders
scare anybody in San Diego.
So might as well have two home stadiums.
There you go. No, you're right, and that's a very dominating stat right there. And those, like we had touched on last week and a week before, those were the days of the LT when he was coming up, and he just ripped the Raiders. Him and Gates, Phillip, Breeze, even when he was coming up with Gates. It's good to see them dominating on the road against division rivals.
Absolutely. And dominating is our defense. The defense looked great.
They did.
Forced a fumble, blocked punt, holding McFadden to only 32 yards. Okay, this is a premier back.
Right.
This guy, when healthy, can easily lead the NFL in rushing yards, and we held him to 32 rushing yards.
32 rushing yards is amazing to me, but he did slip out of the backfield. He caught a lot of balls.
But that's going to happen.
No, I know that's going to happen, but that's the way they thought they could attack the Charger defense best, and they did that. They gave him the over-the-middle routes. They gave up a few chunks of yards here and there to him, But what you touched on in the rushing, I was so happy and pleased how our run defense. Remember when we got abused by Adrian Peterson a couple years?
Yeah.
In the last couple years too, we didn't seem to have the right players and fit in that middle of our defensive line. And now it seems like a little bigger. Abreu Franklin is in there a lot. Kendall Reyes made some great plays. I was keying on him last night.
Yes.
I was just overall pleased with our run defense. Jarrett Johnson helps out tremendously, and Donald Butler is going to be this year's defensive MVP.
Donald Butler.
He's all over the field, dude.
Donald Butler blew up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a running back or an offensive lineman, but he absolutely decleated him, and then you see him like diving backwards.
Oh yeah. No.
For the quarterback, it
absolute
was phenomenal. Goosebumps.
And if we're touching on the whole defense as well, I want to Atari Bigby. A couple plays, he should have had that pick in the end zone. He missed it, unfortunately. He blew up a couple guys, too, and he was really stout in the run defensive game as well. Coming up, making plays. I think we finally found a guy to go with Weddle. That's going to be solid, just solid for us. So very pleased with the defense last night.
Absolutely. Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, buddy. Right there.
Absolutely.
You can purchase this if you want for $70. Just contact me at BoltsPride21.
He makes an immediate impact.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so starting off, third down,
Mm-hmm.
they were playing him very sparingly.
Oh, yeah, he was in rotation.
You know what I mean? But he absolutely crushed the receiver, jars the ball loose. We get a turnover out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy needs to play more.
And that's what we talked about the entire preseason. Game-changing players that are drafted. This guy... Now, last year, do you see any kind of hits like that? No. Did you see any? Maybe from Weddle in the secondary,
right?
But not from a linebacker.
Right.
No. But no linebacker made these kind of plays.
Right.
And we have talked about this so much, Josh. This kid, and he comes in on the second series of the game, and he absolutely lays this guy out. Ball flies in the air. Antoine Barnes grabs it. Turnover Chargers. Right. That's what we used to. When Merriman was here and Foley and Godfrey,
we used to thrive on those
turnovers.
Oh my God,
these boys used to light it up, man. They were like gangster mentality.
And if we're getting turnovers like that, and then you throw our offense that is firing on all cylinders,
exactly, give them more opportunities.
The scoreboard's gonna light up like 4th of July.
Yeah, and look what they did on turnovers. I think they scored 10 points off turnovers last night. Well,
at least.
Well, the field goals. I mean, I could do the punt returns too as turnovers or the punt blocks.
Right.
But yeah, in that case, they would have scored a bunch. But I'm saying just off like offensive turnovers. I think they scored like 10 points. So that's really, really solid.
Absolutely.
That was very encouraging to see.
And to stay on defense, Shaun Phillips.
He looked great too.
The guy kind of was non-existent in the first half, but in the second half, man, 3 sacks.
Oh, yeah. He was all over the field.
And, I mean, it was like boom, boom, boom. It seemed like it was all in one series.
Well, you know what's crazy? I was watching him, and they were moving him around a lot.
Yeah,
they were keeping Ingram and Johnson in their places, and they were kind of putting Phillips on each side all the time, switching back and forth.
Right.
And he was abusing those tackles.
And that's what made him dominant a couple years ago because we had
pass rush
ability, and so they were able to move him around.
Exactly, and now he's making plays
the
again.
last year or two, he's been the man,
he's had to do it up by himself.
They're double teaming him and shutting him down. Now they don't know where he's going to line up, and the guy got skills.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely got skills. It's like you said, he hasn't had the opportunities last year, definitely with the guys we had in place last year. No pass rush, no collapsing the pocket, no getting in there for plays and sneaking through getting to the quarterback. Now you'll see with instant pass rush, Antoine Barnes, Shaun Phillips, Melvin Ingram. These are guys that are legit pass rushers. Corey Liuget looked great. I want to touch on him too.
Absolutely.
Corey Liuget looked phenomenal. I didn't see much at Larry English, but I did want to touch on Liuget. I was impressed. He was around the ball. They praised him after the game.
Starting to see some of his worth.
Starting to see these first-round picks. I mean, Larry English hasn't come to fruition in the first game, but we'll see how he does the rest of the year. He's healthy. So, and then when you add Melvin in there and these top guys, Kendall Reyes, it's just this collective effort, man, that's just going to really bolster us this season.
And hats off to Takeo Spikes.
Oh, yeah, baby. 200
starts. 200.
That's like the Cal Ripken Award. That has to be in football. Shouldn't that be considered like beastly? That's football. He played baseball.
That's
Cal Ripken.
Extreme conditioning.
That's extreme Ironmanning.
Incredible genes.
Holy cow!
And I would hope that the Chargers have an eye on his son if he has one when he's coming up through the ranks, because it's got to be in the genes.
There's Takeo Spikes right here. Hey, buddy, what's going on? I don't have a neck. Yeah, no, it's cool, dude. But no, very impressed with him, and he's a solid linebacker, and I'm glad he's on our team.
Absolutely. Leader.
Definitely.
Sure.
He's a leader in that clubhouse, man. That's great.
Offense struggled a little. We got some turnovers.
A little.
You know, our average field position was the Raiders 48, and we only mustered 5 field goals out of that.
Yeah.
Which is great to see Nate, nailing them, but at the same time, all great things that we had yesterday. The offense, if we're going to beat the good teams, not to say the Raiders aren't a good team.
Right.
Because the Raiders are going to get better.
One of the best defensive lines in football.
Yes.
Let's just mind you that. And what they did to them yesterday was very impressive.
The O-line. We'll touch on that in a second.
I'm going to get off track here.
Touch on that in a second. But the fact that, man, where was I going with this? If we're going to play the good teams, we need to put the
score
ball
in the red zone.
the end zone.
Yes.
We're driving down to the 15, the 10, and then we can't get it in the end zone.
Right.
And some of that credit has to go to the Raiders defense, because they really bottled it up. Once we got down in there, they played really tough.
Right. No, and you're exactly right. I agree. What really killed us was the lack of running game, and it's just you got to have a run game. And when we get Ryan Matthews back, I think things get cured up a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe he plays this weekend, but that was a big part of it, Josh. I think.
I agree.
Gates missed the one in the end zone he should have had. He normally has those balls. He missed. He went up for that big one. He usually catches that. That could have been a score there. You go up on 2 scores there at that time. But I'm not too concerned about it, because it's going to take a little while with these new receivers, and we've already touched on this in the past few. It's just going to take a little time just to get everybody acclimated.
But that deep ball to Meacham was sweet.
Oh, dude, and I go, who is that Meacham? Breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Running from the cop speed.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you ain't catching him.
No, very. I'm glad that they got in range though for Kaeding, and I'm glad we were scoring points. Nate looked fantastic,
and I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Nate's coming back. I'm like, we don't need him to go down again.
Yeah.
What I mean?
I understand.
We don't need it, and kicking off the dirt. I hate that friggin' stadium.
Yeah.
I hate the Raiders, period, but that stadium
sucks.
And the fact that they share it, baseball, football, and there's still dirt on the field. I was just waiting for injuries.
One thing that people aren't mentioning, they talk about Nate Kaeding went 5 for 5 with field goals. What about his kickoffs?
Oh, yeah.
Every kickoff deep, and that's not the way he used to be.
No,
and
you know what?
Well, nothing.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Go ahead.
I was kind of touching on that with my girlfriend. She was complaining the fact that we're watching the earlier Monday Night Football game, and everybody's kicking the ball out of the end zone.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's a big part of the game. And I'm like, I understand.
Yeah. She's yelling at you.
But then I'm like, just wait till Kaeding gets up there, because he don't have the leg to do it. And he proved me wrong. He was kicking it deep in the end zone every time.
I don't know what happened from this year, from a season ago.
No, because Kaeding of old, he was kicking it to like the 15-yard line.
Right, and it was always right at the goal line, the pylon, where they would receive it. And I'm like, I saw last night, I'm going, that's not Nate Kaeding. That isn't Kaeding. What's he doing? Who
is this masked man?
Yeah, I was like, he must have really worked on his lower body in the offseason or something, because he's booming the hell out of the ball. which is great to see. You don't have to. I've always wanted Cyphers to do that job, to be honest.
Yeah.
The kickoffs, and they never put him in that spot, but I don't know. I'm happy for Nate and that he's come back real well, and to start your season off with five really nice kicks down the pipe.
I mean, everything was going right for him from his field goals to his kickoffs. I mean, he even had that one squib kick that kind of you could tell he was upset about, even though it just made it inside the pylon there. Right. He was really upset, but it worked out. We stuck him on the 20.
It just went our way. It went our way last night.
A lot of stuff went our way. There's obviously room for improvement.
Definitely. And a lot of room for improvement. That red zone has to be cured up a little bit.
But, and again, you know what? Well, my thoughts, we'll touch on that once we get to our D-bag of the week. But looking ahead, Chargers home opener.
Right.
We'll be there, by the way.
We'll be there.
So if you're there.
D1.
D1? Yeah, that's where we're going to be?
We'll be in D1.
We're going to be in section D1, San Diego Sports Junkies, tailgating, throwing the beanbag, drinking some beers.
There you go.
Having a good old time. The Titans, they lost to New England 34-13. Jake Locker gets knocked out of the game with a separated shoulder.
Right.
But they still say that he's going to start this Sunday.
I heard that too, Josh. I think he will play this weekend against the Chargers. I actually think it's a good thing for the Chargers that Jake Locker's playing, because Matt Hasselbeck's a veteran, and he came in and he's always going to do a solid job.
Chris Johnson's a beast.
Right, exactly. But he wasn't a beast Sunday. He was terrible.
Well,
fantasy owners were pissed off.
Yes.
Anyway, for me, Jake Locker's a better quarterback for the Chargers to go against because he's still learning his roots. He's still trying to get acclimated to an offense, and he's a young player. We can force some pressure on this kid, get him to make some mistakes early, really get into his head. Maybe we jump on him 10-0, 17-0, really get into his head, and then start bringing the house on blitzes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? This could be a really good thing for the Chargers, and I'm not taking anything away from Jake Locker.
I mean, goosebumps.
Yeah. Well, it's like Matt Hasselbeck, to me, is a better quarterback than Jake Locker right now, but they want Jake Locker to get all this experience so he has the better tools. So I think it's a better matchup for the Charger D.
Well, and Jake Locker, let's not bash him totally. The kid's got talent.
No, I'm
He's
not
starting
bashing
for
him.
a reason.
No, not bashing him.
And Hasselbeck has been a proven solid quarterback.
Definitely.
And
that's why
he's gonna teach him a lot.
Yeah.
But like you said, I feel with the home opener, the crowd,
Junior
being
Seau
crazy.
Day, they're retiring Junior's
right.
number.
Hopefully there's a pretty good whiteout, because that's one thing they want to do.
I'll wear my white Merriman jersey.
I'm wearing my white Rivers jersey.
I'm gonna throw this thing on probably. I'm selling it still, so if you want to buy it,
you can buy it off my back.
Yeah,
buy it off my back at the stadium.
Yeah, you could buy it at the tailgating where we're tailgating.
Yeah, D1.
I'll sell jerseys down there or something. Make some extra income.
But I mean, like you said, if we get up a touchdown or two, and they're just gonna bring the house.
Yeah.
And the crowd's gonna get nuts. And Melvin Ingram, Shaun Phillips.
Oh yeah.
These guys are gonna really hurt Jake Locker.
Right.
And there's a good chance we might see Matt Hasselbeck.
You're right. And I don't know if you want to do your prediction on this game in this segment. I don't mind if you want to.
Sure.
I really feel like this game is going to catapult the Chargers into Week 3 against Atlanta.
Which is going to be a tough game.
I'm not going to take away from the Titans. They're a decent team. They're okay. If Chris Johnson can get going, he's a good back. But if that's all you have and your quarterback's struggling, and if we get after him and put pressure on him,
right.
We take, like you said, we can get out to a 10-0 lead, 17. Put that pressure on the young kid. He will make mistakes. And the Charger defense will capitalize, I guarantee you, and we will end this thing quick. And that's what we need to do. We need to take this game and shut it out. I think it's going to be a killing by the Chargers. It seems like every home opener, last year wasn't the same, but there's a few home openers I've been to. It just seemed like the Chargers were clicking on all cylinders. It seems like they just grasped the home energy. I'm looking for a 35-17 win. I'm looking for big numbers from Phillip and the gang.
Yeah, I'm close. I was thinking 27-10.
That's still blowoutish.
I think our offense is going to click better.
Right.
I think we're going to do better. Obviously, we're going to have the fans behind us. That energy.
Oh yeah. They're going to be
the
pumped.
fan factor it's almost guaranteed, a touchdown just from the fan factor.
Yeah, you know what I like about the home opener the best, Josh, is that it rivals a playoff game atmosphere because everybody has been so jacked up to get in that stadium for kickoff. And I don't know if there's going to be white towels. I certainly want to have white towels. It kind of makes me excited about the game, right?
Absolutely.
I want to wave it in your face. It'd be kind of cool. It just gets you going. There's something about the home opener, man, that just you get goosebumps. The flyover with the bombers and the stealths, whatever they're bringing.
That's when the light switch gets turned on.
Oh my God, it's a new level. It's a new level.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait for Sunday afternoon and to have some brews with you and chill, man. It's gonna be fun, and I think we spanked their butts.
Yeah.
On a nice 1:15 afternoon.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You want to touch on this last little bit? We got a signing.
The Chargers picked up today a veteran guard. His name's Reggie Wells. He formerly played with the Panthers, Cardinals, Eagles, and the Packers. He's like a 10-year vet. AJ, we knew he was going to go after week one, a tackle.
Right.
He can play guard and tackle. He's mixed in both. He's made a lot of career starts. He's very solid. He knows what he's doing. So if Mike Harris, something unforsaken happens, I mean, he played great against Oakland.
He played great against a really strong
and we didn't really touch
seven.
that. And what I wanted to kind of bring up was the number one topic all camp, everything, and we didn't even bring it up. I don't know why, but we should have. Was Mike Harris on Monday Night Football, big stage, prime time. He handled it to the best of his ability, and it was fantastic. Rivers didn't go down one time. Well, he did go down one time, but it was not Mike Harris's fault.
Right. I don't know how he could play much better.
Oh, he handled it like a seasoned vet. I watched him. I thought he was solid on technique. Yep. They helped him out a little bit with the bigger sets.
But we knew that was going to happen. We talked about that.
Yeah, but they didn't help him out all the time.
Right.
They was over there on an island a few times, and he did great. I mean, I really commend him for stepping in there on a big stage, and he did fantastic. But you knew we were going to sign a guard. This guy provides he was recently with the Green Bay Packers, most recent. Not a bad team to be on.
No.
And he played well for them, but was let go. And now the Chargers have found themselves a solid veteran that can step in any time and plug this line for us.
Absolutely. We're going to jump into our last Charger segment, and that's our Chargers pick to click.
Yeah.
Last week you had Melvin Ingram.
I had Melvin Ingram, and he forced a turnover.
And he forced a turnover.
Nice.
I had Antonio Gates. He played well.
Touchdown.
Touchdown?
He scored a touchdown, didn't he?
No,
Floyd did. Sorry.
Yeah.
He almost scored a touchdown.
No,
I was jumping
week.
the gun. Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, he's going to have 3 this week.
So I'm going to have to give the win to you in week 1. I think the turnover from Melvin Ingram is
I don't know. That one-hander was pretty sweet by Gates.
It was pretty sweet, but I think, the turnover is kind of a game changer.
Definitely. No, and we've talked about it. Melvin Ingram provides an instant game-changing person on that field for you. So I hope he clicks every week. He's not going to be my pick to click every single week, but I'd love to have him as my pick to click because he's a stud.
Well, who do you got this week?
For me, it's my other linebacker stud, Donald Butler. He was all over the field against the Oakland Raiders. He was amazing. I just saw the kid running from sideline to sideline, making tackles, making plays around the ball. He was everywhere. He's a solid linebacker.
Yes.
And it's good to have this kid. You remember last year that Jets play he made in New York where he picked off Sanchez? And he pretty much ripped the ball away from the dude. It was phenomenal. And from that point on, I'm like, man, who is this guy? And you watched him the rest of the season last year, and he was making plays. And it's carried into this season. You can tell he's fully recovered from the Achilles injury he had a few years ago. I wish this guy absolutely nothing but the best. He's going to be an absolute stud this year for us.
And the depth is huge because
linebacker depth is crazy.
They just keep running these guys in and out, and
the rotation's
it keeps
solid.
them healthy, and it keeps them strong for the later quarters.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're carrying 10 linebackers this year.
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
Crazy. Yeah,
that's
special
awesome.
teams plays a little factor, but.
Mine's gonna have to be Eddie Royal, and we saw a little bit of glimpses of him against the Raiders.
That damn penalty.
I know.
Dude, he ripped that thing off, man.
I know.
He juked like 3 guys out of their jock straps.
I know.
They were laying on the floor.
As soon as I saw that pop on the screen, I immediately think block in the back.
Right.
No,
I did too.
But Eddie Royal, I think he's gonna bring a facet to this team that we haven't had, and I remember how long.
It's been a while since Sproles, I think, that game-changing kind of guy.
Yeah, but Sproles is more out of the backfield. I don't know, when have we last had a slant receiver that has, the ability to break away from people like this?
Right.
Do you notice that they had Eddie Royal lining up in the backfield on a few plays, too? I'm wondering if they're going to use him like they used Sproles.
Do you see some of those formations they're rolling out there? Do you see the 3 running back set they used in the third quarter? It's weird.
That and the reverse
when I saw him lining
didn't
up
work.
in the backfield, that's all I could think of was they're going to use him this season more like they used Sproles, and I think that we're going to get a little bit more of that as the season goes on.
And like Josh said, that opening series where he did the reverse, we hadn't seen a reverse since what? Who was here when we were doing reverses all the frickin' time? Slot little guy. I can't think of his name.
I remember Mark Say used to do it.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying in Norv Turner era.
We're talking after we were born, Jason.
Yeah. No, I just remember a few years back we were running a lot of more trickery plays, a lot of different things, flea flickers. But I think we were more talented
throwing the pass for touchdown to Gates.
Right. Those kind of plays.
Which I wouldn't mind that coming out of the bag of tricks here and there.
But we don't have players like that anymore, so we have to adjust to.
I don't know. Norv's tricky.
I don't know.
They could be working on it.
I hope so. I hope we see more trickery this year. I love trick plays.
Eddie Royal, I expect you to have a big game against the Titans. Home opener, crowd noise. I don't see why he can't reel off some yardage.
Give me your stats for Eddie Royal against the Titans. What projected
Eddie Royal,
stats?
I see 7 catches.
It's a lot of catches.
7 catches for about 67 yards.
Ooh, 67.
Okay? And a touchdown.
That's solid numbers right there. I'm going to give you my Donald Butler stats. He will have 15 sacks. I'm just kidding. I think he's not a big sack guy. I think he'll force a turnover, make an interception. He's one of those coverage linebackers I really like. So I think he'll get a pick in this game, and he'll have some solo tackles, and he'll contribute well for the defense.
So you ready?
Ready. D-bag of the week?
For your long-winded...
it's not going to be long-winded. It's going to be short-winded because that's all they get. We're going to do the D-bag of the week this week. It's for the Raider Nation. You guys on Twitter are the biggest crybabies I've ever seen in my life. You're saying that the Chargers not won this game. You're saying that the Raiders lost this game and the Chargers didn't win this game. Okay. Well, when I looked up at the scoreboard, it said 22-14. What's that mean?
You lose.
You lose, right?
Absolutely.
You lose. I don't care if you have a second-string center or long snapper that just got out of high school and he can't long snap. That's your backup long snapper?
It's not our fault.
Is that a guy a professional bowler? Is he Pete Weber on the tour? What's he doing? That is embarrassing. And for you to tell me that we didn't win the game, I saw it differently. I saw Shane Leckler getting his ass kicked. He got sacked 3 times by our linebackers, our special teams unit, smacked into the ground, and we went in for field goals on each time. That's 9 points right there.
Right.
How do we not win this game? You guys screwed up by not adding depth to your roster and getting a long snapper that actually snap the ball.
And they say we don't have our top 2 receivers. I don't know. That number 10 looked pretty good.
Where did we lose the game? That's what I want to know, Raider Nation. Nation.
Oh, wait. You guys did score a touchdown against prevent defense when we're already whipping
you scored it in garbage time.
6.
I'm not going to even take that touchdown into account. You guys are the biggest crybabies on the planet. The Chargers beat your ass. Just take it like a man. Get ready for week 2. You got a tough schedule. Stop whining about the freaking Monday Night Football game. You guys are a bunch of douchebags.
And leave.
Scoreboard, baby. It's all written and playing right there. 22-14. We win the ball game. Bold up.
And the past is the past. I don't care about your 3 championships that happened before I was born.
1965. I don't know when that was.
Half of you guys weren't even alive to see any of those championships.
Jeez.
It's here and now, and we have basically owned you since 2002.
Raider Nation, stop crying. Stop crying.
Bunch of D-bags.
Dude, if we were to lose 22-14 and we made those same mistakes, I wouldn't sit here and go, man, we really lost the game. They didn't win. We lost. We lost the game. What does that mean?
And your fans are so nuts that they actually have a fence around the stadium with barbed wire?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This isn't a prison.
No, it looked
Obviously, it looks like it with a bunch of freaks.
That place looked like Halloween on steroids. It baffles me that these guys, they have interviews with some of these guys dressed as like goblins and stuff. It's like, hey, what is your profession outside? I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer? Holy cow. Dressed like Beetlejuice.
Even with all those masks on their face, it was great to see them like just completely emotionless, like somebody just pooped in their friggin' Halloween basket.
Yeah, they pissed in their Wheaties, and you know why they wear masks, right?
Because they're ugly as hell.
No, because they're ashamed that they're Raider fans, and they don't want to be seen on national TV.
Good point.
Raider Nation, you suck. You're a bunch of D-bags.
Yeah, you're our D-bag.
We win 22-14. Bank it.
Yeah.
Chalk it up as a W.
1-0. Chargers.
Chargers, baby.
0-1.
Raiders. Go cry to your mom. Aztec football. Go ahead, bud.
Aztec football. San Diego State plays their second game, beating Army 42-7
Holy
to
cow.
improve to 1-1 on the season.
42-7.
I was at the Padre game when this game went down, and at one point it seemed like we scored 3 touchdowns in like 3 minutes.
Probably did. I didn't watch all the game. I wanted to. I was doing other things.
No, but the defense, from what I've heard, was just flying around, making turnovers, just absolutely looked phenomenal.
And this is what I thought would have happened against Washington the prior week. I thought the defense would have made more plays. They just didn't. But this is back to SDSU football, Rocky Long type team. So for me, it was a great win. Army's they're a triple option running team. I mean, It's a hard offense to cover. And for them to trounce them like this, that's pretty impressive to me.
They didn't score a touchdown until the third quarter, and by then the game was already over.
Agreed. It's unforeseeable. 42-7 to me is a ass kicking. Like,
that's a shellac.
I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. I thought it'd be a close game, maybe 35-28.
And by looking at the stats, you wouldn't think. It's like you look at, Cats had only like 187 passing yards. There wasn't a whole lot of rushing yards.
It was the defensive turnovers.
Right. So. It was just them flying around.
Right. So.
Fan question, and we only got one this week. You guys need to step up your game.
Yeah.
At Peace and Shine.
That would be Chelsea.
That would be
before she left the house to go to school today. For college. She wanted to know, do you think the running game would have been better versus Oakland if we had Ryan Matthews healthy?
To me, that's a no-brainer, but I got a but here. We were missing 2 starting offensive linemen, and that does, whether how good they played or not, it plays a factor in our running game because they're veterans. They know how to open the holes. Not to say that the O-line didn't do a good job, but I think with those 2 guys in there, they would do a better job.
Well, we were only missing one, just so we're clear.
I thought we were missing Clary.
No, Clary was over there. Clary
really?
Clary was out there.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all right. No, but having Mike Harris an unknown, we didn't know. For me, Ryan Matthews instantly makes your offense better. We all know that on screenplays,
no
whatnot.
Brainer.
But as well as the front 7 of the Oakland Raiders were playing, I don't know how many yards he would have had. Maybe 12 carries for 50 yards. I don't know. Maybe he breaks a couple. I don't know. Their line was very, very stingy with Ronnie Brown. Kicked his ass.
And, I was thinking about size, because Ronnie Brown, like you said, is just getting crushed.
Oh, he was getting drilled, man.
Then they figured, let's bring in Brinkley because he's bigger, and he didn't do much either.
Yeah, and the whole time I'm thinking, where's Jackie Battle?
Yeah.
You kept him on the team. Well, might as well get him in there, right?
Yeah.
Jay, did you think that was a little weird? I thought it was kind of weird.
I thought it was weird. Not only that, but he was active too. Jackie Battle was active. He never got out there.
No, and you thought they would have brought in a little bigger back to maybe get through the hole, maybe get you 2-3 yards in the dirty,
I think that they should have actually maybe gave McLean a few more carries just because.
Yeah, and McLean. That's what I was. Man, I was kind of disappointed.
I don't know if Matthews would have had a whole lot more rushing yards because the holes weren't there. But
right.
I do think that he would have been more of a threat. He's the best running back on the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And he would have given you that one play if he could have broke one. Yeah, definitely.
Right. And he has that breakout ability.
Of course.
Not to say Ronnie Brown doesn't, but I think Matthews. Day and night is a better running back.
Well, if it was that case, Brown would be the starter. No, Matthews he's one of those top 5 running backs, healthy running backs if he's healthy.
Yes, we do think that Ryan Matthews
would have helped
a lot versus Oakland,
but he wasn't. It was formidable. They went by running back by committee, and that's how it went. But yeah, he would definitely upgrade your team there, Chelsea.
So we would have whooped their butt instead of 22 to 14.
We would have tacked on another touchdown. 29.
We'd probably have been closer to 30.
There you go.
Or more.
See, I like your style. You're adding points now.
Absolutely.
Raider Nation, bunch of you know what.
Yeah.
Job. Hey, Black Hole Fun. Black hole fun, baby.
Second home. I'm telling you, it's our second home.
There you go.
We own them.
We own that place.
We own you.
It's all right.
So over under. Nate Kaeding versus the Titans has 3 field goals.
Yeah, since he had 5 last night.
5 against the Faders.
Man, 3. I think he's gonna be maybe right around 3. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get into the end zone and we can score some points.
Well, there's one thing I can tell you. He's going to be kicking the ball at least 3 times, and that includes our extra points.
Okay, there you go. I mean regular field goals.
3 field goals. I'm going to say less because I want to see more touchdowns.
Well, I do too. But we got to be a fan. No, I'm being a fan too. But we got to see it first. Let's see that red zone offense. We didn't see it in Oakland.
I say 3 is the max.
That's what I think. It'd be right at 3. I don't think over or under. I'm going to say even. Right there.
Over under. Phillip Rivers has 3 touchdowns versus the Titans.
Definitely. I picked the score to be 35, around 35-17, what have you. I think he throws for 3 touchdowns, maybe 4. I think he gets his game back on track. And I wanted to touch on this too. No picks for Phillip Rivers.
Amen.
Sorry, I wanted to bring that up.
Amen.
No picks, no INTs. Where's everybody now? Where's all the haters?
Right.
Everybody wants to bash this guy every week.
Yeah, tweet us now.
Not only no picks, but did they even get their hands on any of his passes?
No. He threw a bunch away. I think he threw 3 away. That was really smart decision by him.
I don't even think they got their hand. No close picks, but I don't even think they defended any of his passes.
Right. No, he made some really, really smart decisions last night. And he even said after the game, and the guy asked him, he goes, were you being too careful because you're scared about the picks? He goes, I'm not scared to throw the football. He goes, my job, and he goes, you saw it from last year. When I threw picks, we lost.
Right.
He goes, when I don't throw picks, we win 90% of our games, and that's a fact. So
protecting the ball.
Yeah, exactly. He's protecting the ball. He's getting it out of bounds when he needs to. That's what he needs to do. He's a game manager.
Well, protecting the ball.
Take a chance when you got the lead.
Yeah, exactly. He's already got the lead.
Well, and look,
defense was playing.
Right.
Alex Smith isn't the best quarterback in the world, but he protected the ball, and with their running game and their defense, they went far into the playoffs.
He lets them win it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just don't turn it over.
Don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Last over/under. 3 turnovers by San Diego's defense versus the Titans.
Definitely. 3 would be the least for me. I think they're going to be more. I think the defense really, really shines this weekend. I think we're going to have a few interceptions, a couple fumbles.
I wanted to know.
Yeah, a couple interceptions, maybe a couple fumbles. We're going to knock some people out.
I was actually disappointed we didn't intercept one against Palmer, because he also threw a lot of interceptions last year.
That Atari Bigby one should have been picked off. It should have been. So I'll give that one a mulligan. That one could have been picked, and that would have been a big play too.
Yeah,
Atari was all over the field. Very impressed with him. But yeah,
absolutely.
I think we should have had one against the Raiders, but I think we're going to have 3 or more against the Titans. I think the Titans are ripe for the picking. I think we're going to kick their ass on Sunday. I think that's the way it's going to go down, and I think we dominate this game 35-17, and then we head to the parking lot and drink some more beer.
Absolutely.
All
right. D1, be there.
Come on out.
Or B Square.
And buy a
San Diego
jersey.
Sports Junkies. Selling jerseys. Drinking beers.
Yep.
Playing games. Eating food. Having a great time.
Tell them the cornhole game you made.
Cornhole, if you guys don't know, is basically beanbag toss, and I made a custom one. Charger one. Has a nice big charger bolt on there.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's sister, Tab, she made me some charger beanbags. We're all chargered up, man. I can't wait.
That's how you know we're going to have fun. We're playing cornhole. That's how we're doing it.
With charger beanbags and the charger platforms.
Cooler full of beer, some carne asada. Come hang out. Let's do it.
Don't be a cornhole.
Don't be a cornhole. And don't be a douchebag, Raider Nation. Come by too, even though you won't be at the game.
The San Diego Sports Junkies. This is a show for fans.
By the fans.
I'm with Justin Speed.
Justin Speed?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Justin Speed.
He's speeding on out of the studio.
We're trying to speed on out of here.
Yeah, we're trying to get the hell out of here.
And the Padres game's on.
Holy cow.
Justin Speed. I'm Josh Taylor. Thank you always for tuning in. Go Chargers, and we'll see you next week. We're out.
Thanks for watching.